Hey guys, so the ASROCK is up and running. It's been getting tested here, making sure it's going to pass its stress tests, and so far it's been doing good. It runs a little hot on the PCH, but they both do. It's not as good as I think the Aurora Elite is a little bit more efficient actually, but I kind of like the BIOS settings for this one a little better than the ASROCK's, but so what I had to change on these boards, or what I changed anyway, like I said previously, is these regulators right here, the 8065, and on this one I had to change these caps here. They were missing, and I think what the problem was with these boards, because both of these Taichi Z590s, well, this one had bent pins in it. I had to straighten the pins. That had to be done regardless, but I think what happens with these boards, like the BIOS versions on both of these boards were some of the very first ones. So I don't know if people, like, they're kind of frustrating too with their memory timings. Like, they always want to go into gear 2 mode, and it kind of gets hung up on its boot cycle in gear 2. Especially with these 590s, like the 11th gen, you shouldn't be in gear 2, you should be in gear 1. So if you're running it in gear 2, it'll do this stupid boot loop, which it doesn't get out of. It just gets hung up, and you have to remove one of the RAM slots to make it work. Then you can reseat it and it'll work. It's just part of the memory training. But I think there's probably a lot of people that get frustrated with it, especially if this is in a case. You don't know that. You'd probably think your board is broken. So I think a lot of people probably had that happen. Took the board out and then let it sit. And over time there's this, I think, see, this chip right here has their firmware on it for the SIO, which is right underneath it, right here. Underneath the board right here. And over time I think it loses its I don't know if it loses some of its information or what, but you'll see in the video that it, just me probing on the SIO is what made these boards work again. Because what originally happened with this one is I was measuring voltages on top of the board, but I couldn't get it to work because of the little fan I had. Is off an old Optiplex. I don't know if I have it around here. Could show you. Not sure where I put it. But it was just sitting in the holes here. So what I did, and it gets, the chip was still turning on, was using about 60 watts. But I couldn't flip the board up over on the back here to measure the voltages on the background, the SIO. So what I did was I bolted the fan down, and then I flipped the board over when it was running, and I was probing on the SIO. And when I flipped the board back over, it was running. It was going through its boot cycle. And ever since then, it's been working fine. And this board here, I actually caught it on video, because I had the board on its side, and I was recording. And you can see in the video where I shorted out 2 of the caps. I can't show you the covers on, but there's 2 caps there that the probe hit both of them at the same time, and the board started. And ever since then, it's been working. And that's the same thing what happened with both these boards. That's how I got them to start. But I also did change both of these regulators that are known to be bad on this one. I know this one was bad because when I was measuring voltages over here, on the coils. This would turn on and off. The board would start to turn on and off. And when I put my thermal on it, it was really hot. So I changed that, and I went from there. And then this board, I just automatically changed that because they're prone to failure. I just wanted to show that. They're working great now. Both of them work the same now. So I'll be changing the socket on that one too. Put a new one on it. Well, here's a package I got. It should be this ASROCK Z590 Taichi. Gotta fix. See what type of shape it's in here. This box over here. Curious about the socket because they had a cover on it in the picture, so. Looks in really nice shape, actually. This will tell the story though, if it's worth fixing or not. Shit, looks like brand new. Well, this board looks pretty nice so far. Wonder what's wrong with it. See the SIO is underneath this shield here in the back. That's weird. Wonder why that's like that. Looks like it got rubbed somehow. Yeah, it looks like it's been like rubbed. I have to put some alcohol in that, see if it rubs off. I don't know if that's something that's on it. It's like all the screws are here. That other board didn't have this, I don't think. So grab the heatsink. So yeah, here's the heatsink for the other one. So some thermal paste on it, but it only has the fan on the top up here. Nothing on that side. So there's the fan here too. And in there. Didn't realize these LEDs are covered here. Let's just glow out the sides. Okay, well, do some testing on it and check some resistances and voltages and see what it does. Okay guys, check out some resistances here. Good ground. Good ground connection here. Looks good. Looks good. Looks good. That looks good. And that looks good too. So my other board, not mine, the other one I'm fixing, well, it's fixed. I'm just going to use it now to fix this one because I can't get a board view for these. But everything looks good here with this one. So I'm going to put the CPU in here. I'm noticing this one here is a lot stiffer than my other one. Let's put this 10600K in here. Should have cleaned that off quickly. Should have did that off camera. Part of fixing these boards, make sure everything's good. Already put it in. So I know my other one has a pretty high standby power, like 7 watts. With this power supply, this is a Sama 80 plus gold 850 power supply. And it was pulling about 8 watts with the Be Quiet. Better put these in there right away. Eh? Dry it off. Yeah, that looks good. So I'm just curious here to see how much current it'll pull here in standby. I noticed the tag on the BIOS says 1.6, and that's I think that's the first or second edition of the BIOS. Another thing too, these are a good price for these, but they do have an extra set of cables like this for the 12 volt, but they also have this one here. But if you're using that extra set, it'll come from the PCIe 12 volt. For the price though, you can't complain about it. It's a pretty good deal. So that's all in there. Turn it on, see what it pulls standby. Yeah, see, this one's pulling. It's pulling 6.3 watts right now. Yep. Standby. It's pretty much the same as what the other one was pulling. A little bit less. And there you go. 0. That means no CPU detected. Sometimes you have to put pressure down on the CPU. I'll put a stick of RAM in here. See. It's doing the same thing. See the gears turning. Fans are on. Okay, I'm going to put this cooler on and then we'll try it again. Okay, put the cooler on now and we'll see what it does. Nope, still not going past that. Sometimes it just takes that extra pressure on the CPU. I've seen that before with these boards. It's doing the exact same thing, the same wattage. It's pulling 50 watts right now. It means the CPU is getting warm. PCH should be getting warm. So, probably going to flash the BIOS. I'll try with the Q flash. I didn't have any luck with the last board doing the Q flash. I had to pull the chip off, and I'll try to read it on the board with the reader. BIOS flashing tool. Okay, this is the ASROCK board that's not booting past 00. Kind of a pain in the ass. I would set up 2 cameras, but I have to be on the bottom of the board because the SIO is here. So I just want to record all the voltages, and then I'm going to take the processor and the fan off and put it on the other one. And same with for the PCH, I need to have the heat sink on because it gets hot with this model. So I'll have to put all that back on. I have to strip the other board because I have all the heat sinks back on it. But I want to do some measurements here on this PCH before I change it. Or not PCH, SIO here. So I already checked on pin 101 and power reset. Or remember what it is. Reset. I can't remember. I know it's one of the main ones in the one of the last steps for it to turn on, so I already know there's voltage there. So that's pin 101 for anybody who doesn't know what these SIO chips. Pin 1 is right here. You can see it goes up to pin 32. Some boards mark it like this. It always goes counterclockwise. So that pin 54, pin 96. Pin 101 is the 5th one down right here, and it comes right up to this resistor right here. I'm going to turn the board off. It'll be back. I'll reset it. Come back. Okay, it should be drained enough to turn back on, hopefully. No, not yet. Okay, looks like it's good to turn on again. It's on. 00. Drawing 47 watts. Let's see if I can get that measurement now. I must have hit 2 buttons. 2 of them. Oh, turned it off again. It wasn't doing that before. It's kind of interesting. Let me try this again. I don't know why it's doing that. I run for a bit, maybe. See, 3.2. See, I touched the other resistor first this time, so I don't know if that helped it or what. I turned the power off. Power's off now. I'm going to turn it back on. Now it's on. Made no difference. Didn't change. Now I'm just going to go around here measuring voltages. It's one resistor above it. 2.2. I'm on the top one. Turned it off. Just the multimeter is turning it off. Get it back on. Come down here. Measure this side. Pin 1. 3.3. Two caps here. 3.4. Point 3. 3.4. 3.4. 5 on that one. 3.3. 3.2. 3.2. 0.2. No, 3.2. Zero. Big. 3.1, 3.2, 3.1. Zero. No, 3.2, 3.2. Third one has nothing. Fourth one has nothing. 1.8 on this one. Oops. Shorted it out again. I'll turn back on by itself. Well, whatever I did there, it's going through, it's starting. The board is starting. It's pulling 80 watts. That's it. It's did its RAM training. It's restarting. Looks like it's RAM training. Yeah, it's on A2. It's trying to boot. Pulling 61 watts and it's trying to boot right now. Let me just get the soda here and see if it'll turn off and turn back on. Because I was on these bottom 3 capacitors here, I shorted. I think it was the second and third one out. So I'm just going to turn it off and see if it'll do that again. Yeah, it's going right through its cycle. I don't know what I did there. That's kind of like what the other board did for me too. The same type of thing. I flipped it over and I was probing some voltages on it and it ended up starting. And you can see it's on A2 here now. Which means it's trying to boot. So I'm going to turn this off. So the board's completely off. It's pulling 10 watts like the other one does. I just get a GPU here. Good old 1050. Don't need it, but I can see if this works. It's gonna boot. There's something with the firmware, I think, in these, because the chip for that, the firmware is right here for that. And what I did there might have just shorted it out and made it. See, it's in the BIOS here now. Get me. Keyboard. Keyboard. And BIOS. Okay, that's good. Hopefully I don't have to do any more probing on these boards. I'll end up turning this one off and see what's up with it. Okay, I shut it off and checked all the RAM slots. Turned the power off and the power supply, everything. Put a drive in there, booted into Windows. Everything's working perfectly. I checked all the I/O ports. Yeah, PCH temperature is running the same, so that's normal. My other board does the same thing. Especially when it's down on the mat here like that. They run pretty warm. So everything's working with it. I have a theory of what goes on with these boards. I think after a while, that firmware chip loses its data if the board is sitting. Because both of these boards came with dead batteries. Actually, I don't even have one in here. Or yeah, I do. I think I have one in there. Pretty sure it's in there. And if it sits for a while, I've heard that some of those chips can lose their information out of them. So all I did was short out that cap. And that might have just got it to kickstart. That's just my theory on it, because it's two boards like that have done this. Where I don't think there was anything wrong with them. Well, the other one had some components knocked off the back. It was in the audio. I don't think it would have stopped the board from booting. But I did change both of these regulators here, which are prone to failure. So that could have been a problem too, I don't know. But I've just turned it off. Gonna turn the power off. To where it's 0. And just let it sit here for a bit. Drain the caps out. Like what I was doing when I was probing. On the bottom there on the I/O. Just wait a bit. It's either that or unplug them, but it's a pain in the ass to unplug that all the time. Just gotta wait a few minutes. So I'll just pause this for a bit here and then I'll be back when I'm gonna turn it back on, when I know it's dead. Okay, it's been a little bit. The other board had a bunch of bent pins in it too. This one has none. The socket is perfect. This board is in really nice shape. It looks like it's hardly been used. It's like really nice. Both sides, there's no scratches on it. All the heat sinks, everything are perfect condition. It looks like it's brand new. Besides how dirty I've got it right now, I'll give it a good cleaning if everything's gonna work good. So that should take about 6 or 8 watts when it's on here. Yeah, see, it was only pulling around 6 before. Now, since it's been running, it's almost 9. And my other board pulls about 10 when it's like this, in this state. But let's see, you know. Yeah, it's gonna start. There you go. Booted. So whatever that did, it fixed it anyways. We'll see for how long anyway. Put everything back together. Give it a good cleaning first. And put it back together. What I like about these boards is they have the Thunderbolt 40. Which makes a nice difference when you're trying to transfer files and charge things. But right on, it's another one. Kind of fixed, I guess. Fluke fix.